Greetings, one and all. Welcome to the channel, guys. My name is Mind Power. People call me MP. Listen, thank you for being here. Thank you. Welcome to all my guests, anyone, the new subscribers, and so on. Guys, the title of this video is How to Love Your Narcissist, or How to Get Your Narcissist to Love You. Okay? Now, guys, for whatever the reason, some people cannot depart from their narcissist. Some people want to be with their narcissist. A lot of women, a very small percentage of women out there have a very strong maternal instinct and maternal drive, mainly women who are like this, and they can't help it. They can't get over it. This is why you see some women want to go to prisons and engage with, convicted criminals, and a lot of these guys are narcissists. You get it? But that's the reason. The narcissist has the emotional development as a 6 to 8 year old. That's when they abandon themselves because of the trauma they engaged with when they were younger. The narcissist, for those who don't know, encountered a lot of abuse when they're earlier in child. The number one abuse that they encountered that forced them into abandoning their true self is the abandonment side of things. That doesn't mean physical abandonment. Yes, that is one of the reasons why they abandon themselves, is when a parent abandons them. But it's also psychological abandonment. If they're not getting fulfilled by a family, let's say something horrible happened, the boogeyman came in the room at night, and they report it to an adult, and the adult turns out to be the one who arranged such a situation, or ignores the child, then the child will sometimes abandon the parent because it's safer to rely on themselves than to expect an external source to provide safety. And so it's a safety mechanism. Now, once they did that, once they abandoned themselves, they abandoned the side of you and I that allows us to function in life: empathy, love, understanding, compassion. All of that is gone for the narcissist. What remains is that guy, a dark lumen figure, a ogre, a boogeyman, a spooky fellow, right? And so the narcissist is left with these emotions: anger, mayhem, fear, malice, jealousy, gluttony, rage, all the dark emotions they still hold on to, because when they abandon themselves, that's what protects them, right? So they're very good at those emotions, right? Now, once they did that, they had to go back into the world and function. And because they lacked their true selves, they had to create a false identity. And so the way the false identity operates is when they encounter you or anyone else, they take a snapshot of you, and that's called an idealized frame of reference. That's a phrase I came up with. Inside of that frame, that photograph, the frame of reference, they refer to you from here until eternity. And inside of it is how you're supposed to act, conduct yourself, behave, and live up to the standard of the idealized version of what the narcissists expect a partner to be. But they don't just do it with you, they do it with everyone in society. And the reason they do it is because they lack empathy. And if you lack empathy, and you're trying to interact with people on a daily basis, and you can't relate with them, you have no compassion, you can't have a conversation, you will end up getting insulted by people. People say to you, what the hell is wrong with you? Why don't you have any manners? Why are you laughing when something horrible just happened? They lack empathy. And so they had to create a false self to get through the world. So when you encounter the narcissist, what you're encountering is this false person, because they lack empathy, and they had to create these frameworks to get through life. Having said that, now, because they lack empathy, and you're trying to love someone who lacks empathy, the number one thing you should not do is to say no to them. Because if you say no to a narcissist, it's just like someone out in public who is challenging them for the lack of empathy. You guys get it? It's like when they stumble upon someone who asks them, "Why are you late?" The narcissist cannot relate to the person that they just wasted your time because they're late, right? It causes a narcissistic injury. The narcissist will say to themselves, who is this peon asking me why am I late? They have to hold on to the narcissism as a lifeline. It's the life bread. It's a life force that sustains a narcissist. Because without the narcissism, they will be subjected to all these injuries that are coming towards them. And so they created all these tools, blame shifting, manipulation, gaslighting. All of these tools are just there to protect themselves. So how do you get your narcissist to love you? That's it. You do not say no to the narcissist, okay? If you're in a relationship with a narcissist, male or female, you don't say no to the narcissist. You agree to everything, right? If you want the narcissist to love you. And the narcissist, when a narcissist says they love you, right, which we all know, if you lack empathy, you can't love someone, okay? But their idea of loving you is referring back to that idealized frame of reference. It's like a fantasy for them when they think they love you. It's them interacting with the idealized image, the internal object inside that photograph is who they interact with. Not you externally, not the person in real life is who they interact with. When they're talking to you, they're interacting with this internal object. You don't exist. Okay, you exist for the narcissist for a few reasons. SEX, one, supply. That's really high up. It's really supply. It's services. It's SEX and sometimes safety. But the narcissist doesn't need all four of those to exist. They need just two of them, and mainly it's supply and SEX, or supply and services. Right, the safety part they normally protect themselves because they're so insecure. They normally have a good safety network, but they need safety as well. That's why they're with some people, etc. Having said that, I'm talking about the covert narcissists. They're very insecure and they need someone to provide safety. So that's rule number one. Do not question the narcissist. Things such as where were you last night? Things such as why did you do that? Things such as I need an explanation. None of that should happen with a narcissist. So let's go to the second thing. The grandiosity, right? When the narcissist is being grandiose with you, the idea of that is for you to buy into the grandiosity as well. And so what you need to do is to hold them up as you need to buy into the grandiosity. So you should never question or undermine the significance of them being grandiose when they're doing that, right? So be aware of that. If they're embellishing something, if they are trying to puff themselves up to be bigger, you should maintain that and uphold that grandiosity for them. Another thing. Don't ever use the pronoun I, the first pronoun, right? Whenever you say I to a narcissist, it creates a narcissistic injury. What it says to the narcissist is that you're not a part of them, right? It says that you're a separate being. And how dare you? Who are you to be a separate being? You are not, you're an internal object to the narcissist. Every time you say I to a narcissist, it means that you're separate from the narcissist. It means that you are a threat to the narcissist. And that's how they view that. Don't ever, number three, this is number 4, right? Number 4 is, don't ever get intimate with the narcissist. Don't ever say you love the narcissist. Don't ever hug the narcissist without being asked to do so. Don't ever try to be compassionate to the narcissist, because that signals a threat to the narcissist. They'll question, why are you doing this? It signals a weakness to the narcissist. Understand? And I'll make a part 2 of this video with the things you should do. All right, so this part 1 is the things you should not do. So stick with those 4 main things, and that'll take you pretty far with getting a narcissist to depend on you. And I'll make part 2 after this. Thank you. Bye-bye.